Hey guys, it's RivaThames. Today we're looking at what can a lightsaber block and maybe even deflect. I made one of these for Battlefront 1 and it was really interesting to see what can and can't be blocked. But the Battlefront 2 version is actually quite different considering there's still a lot of the same equipment. So before I do some tests, just keep in mind that you can only block from the front. Any hit from the side or from the back will damage you. You're not invincible. So I've pretty much gone over everything I'd imagine a lightsaber could deflect, and from what I saw in the first game, grenades and stuff like that. So first up, Iden's pulse cannon. It can be deflected, yeah. However, Iden has some minor splash damage to this weapon, so a lightsaber hero will still take some damage from this. Not much, so nothing to worry about, but overall it can be deflected. I think this is something that can happen pretty frequently, as Iden's pulse cannon was buffed to pretty much 100% be accurate even if you no scope. Just not many people use it in heroes versus villains, so nevertheless I think it's a cool thing to know. I'll continue with the hero abilities as I think they're the most interesting to find out. Chewbacca's shot grenades. Unfortunately, you can't. It literally just stuns on impact, so you can't deflect or block it at all. Which is sad, but understandable I guess. It'd be cool if you could block it though. As the nade splits off into several parts anyway, it's not like it would be wasted. And while doing this test, I did some jumping around and tried to jump out of stuns and such. And you can dodge stuns, and you can jump out of them, yeah. So I guess that we finally got to the bottom of this theory, that yeah, you can jump out of a stun if you manage to stay in the air for long enough. You do have all the stun effect all over you, but it basically doesn't mean anything if you're in the air. How about Bossk's grenade launcher? Now this was possible in the first game, as Bossk was a hero there as well as part of the DLC. So I'd expect it to be the same. But it's actually not. This time the nades explode on impact as soon as it hits Luke or Rey. And it's what the nades are meant to do, I guess, because they are meant to explode on impact, but it was a feature in the first game to be able to deflect it, but isn't now. And I think you'll see why this is later on in the video when we go into the other kind of grenades. So Bossk's grenade launcher can't be deflected or blocked. Lando's sharp shot. Yep, it's basically a blaster bolt, so it can be deflected. But what about his stun device? You can't block that, unfortunately. It's basically got no hit detection on it, I guess, so it will just bounce off a hero and can't be blocked, I guess. So this one is a good move, as Lando's best ability in heroes versus villains is his stun. It would be pretty useless if it could be blocked by a lightsaber. For the final part of the heroes, Han Solo's detonite charge. I don't expect this to, and it doesn't. But it was pretty funny. It kind of just floats when it hits a hero. If you move, then it will just fall to the ground. So it's not like you can stick it to a hero, which would be pretty funny in all honesty. But yeah, you can't block it. If anything, you have your lightsaber up, you won't go flying like a ragdoll when it detonates. You'll just flinch a little. So you can't exactly deflect or block it, but you can have less of the effect of the grenade, which I think is pretty cool. Now you guys probably know that you can block all kinds of force powers, force pushes, repulse when it works, choke holds, Darth Vader's choke, all kinds of things, except Rey's mind trick of course. You can also block the dashes from Luke Skywalker and Darth Maul, but not Yado's. Yado will fly right through your block as if it's not even there. Something pretty cool to keep in mind, as you can damage them even when they're blocking. So if they're on low health and they got their saber up, go ahead and go for a dash, and surprisingly, you're going to do damage through their block. So now onto our troops, their star cards and equipment. Starting with one I think we can all celebrate is the Vanguard. It can be deflected, but careful, as you can still get damage from the side or the back if hit, like I said in the beginning. But from the front, you can block it and deflect it, so hopefully you guys don't get like two shot by a Vanguard when you play as a hero. Just keep in mind that you can deflect it from the front, so hopefully save yourself some trouble. The Stinger pistol, not that anyone really uses it, but it's for the video. It can be deflected, yeah, but only as a single shot. You won't receive any of the poison slowly draining your health, just a simple hit, nothing more. The heavy sentry. Now you guys probably know that the supercharged and explosive have major damage and a splash. So I would never try to block one of them as you'll get melted straight away. But the standard mobile sentry, you can. It will probably overheat your entire stamina, but it's possible, yeah. You can see this clip with Luke, he's pretty skilled to be able to deflect all of those. So the mobile sentry you can, supercharged explosive, I wouldn't even dare. Now for all of the nades. Officer Flashbang, Iron Grenade, Barrage, Acid Launcher, and Thermal Detonator. Now in Battlefront 1, all of these were possible to deflect, not just block. But Luke could deflect it back in a location, you know, it would physically actually bounce off the lightsaber and Luke would kind of react to say he's deflected it. However, in Battlefront 2, none of these are really deflected or blocked at all. Well, they aren't basically. The grenade just bounces off Luke himself. The lightsabers are completely irrelevant, almost as if they're not even there. They don't realize a grenade is coming and the grenades will just bounce off Luke's head, for example. Pretty funny and weird, I guess, but it's probably like this because of this new stamina system. Having to code for deflecting all kinds of grenades and everything like that would probably confuse the players when using them. So only to make it for blaster shots would be the simpler option, I guess. That's why boss didn't work this time round, as it will just explode on impact because it's pretty much registering that there's not a lightsaber there and it's just someone standing right in front of you, and it's explode on impact, so it's going to do what it says. Pretty unfortunate that you can't deflect or block any kind of grenade for that matter. You know, if a thermal detonator was coming towards you, you can't deflect it, it would just bounce off and probably land at your feet and still damage you. So that's one reason to say, you know, a lot of things can damage you from random locations, you know, without having any control over it. But I guess it's not the biggest deal, as you can deflect the more important stuff like force powers, Iden's droids, and blaster fire. So they're not the biggest problem that you can't deflect grenades, but something that is missed for me from the first game. But that's it for the video. There won't be a testing the Battlefront tomorrow as it's my birthday on Sunday, so I'll just be relaxing and kind of just want to chill. But I can probably make it Monday as I've got everything recorded already. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video and hopefully learned something new. If you did, leave a like, and yeah, it's been Riva and I'll see you in the next video.